everyone and welcome. Today I've got a slightly different subject that I thought, just for a bit of fun, but I just wanted to show you. This actually belongs to a very wealthy landowner, this forest, and there's a very clear defined path which I always fail to adhere to, but I want to show you something. See what you think of this. Our landowner has put a huge deer fence in. It's taller than me, so it's about 6.5 feet, maybe 7 feet tall, that deer fence. But look at what's directly behind it, which I thought was really funny. Behind the fence, wrestled in between those trees. I mean, these aren't little branches, these are quite large limbs from a tree. So my height is, I'm 5'8" and that's my height up here. So yeah, it's nearly 7 feet tall fence. But I just thought, guess who lives here? Whose property is this? And there the landowner thought it was his. So today I have chosen a more light-hearted subject. Oh look, private estate, keyed out. Yeah right. Yeah right. We know what that sign means. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm driving along through the city, and beside me there is a white Mercedes coming up alongside where I am. I'm in a central lane, there in the outside lane. We're going through a series of traffic lights. Now bear in mind, this was actually last week, so it's April, and it's not exactly warm. It's far from warm. But this lady, who I would say was middle-aged to elderly, certainly older than me, and she had her soft top on this white Mercedes. It was pulled down. So I thought, nice car, but you must be absolutely freezing, because it was cold. I had the heater on full blast, but she had her music going, and I could hear her playing a song by Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Now that came out, I was still at school, so I'm saying 1975, something like that. But she was blasting this music from her Merc. And so I pulled up beside the traffic lights beside her, and I almost got the whole song because the traffic was very, very slow moving through the city. So I almost got the full song. And we got to the last set of traffic lights, and it's getting towards the bit in the middle of the song where it's quite rocky. And so I put my window down and said, turn it up, and she did. And I thought, good on you. I think she was about 70ish actually, and she was just loving it. Proper headbanger. I just thought, this is so funny for words. But anyway, I was just laughing at the exuberance of her, the joy. She got a nice car, driving through town with a dark red sunroof, soft top, roll back. She did have a scarf on, and she probably got a very thick coat on because it was not warm. Anyway, it brought me on to thinking about the song. And the very first line of the song. And I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but I wonder whether you saw any significance to it as well. So the first line, is this the real life? I thought they were great opener for a song. You know, great question. Do you know? Does anyone know? Next line. Or is this just fantasy? How do you start a song off like that? Is there much difference between reality and fantasy? Who knows? Is all of our reality, what we call reality, is that just an illusion? Or is that the reality? So the next line is, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. So the only escape that we have is within dreams. It's within our meditations, within sleep. When we're connecting or grounding to the earth. And I suppose that it's like a personal isolationist stance that you have when you are in meditation or when you are receiving dreams within sleep. So the next line is, open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. What a great line. So we all have our eyes open, otherwise we'd bump into things. But to really open your eyes, to really see what's up there, to really see the cosmos as you call it, it provides answers for everything. It provides answers for the projection and movement of energy, the trajectory of all things that pass through our lives. And it governs everything from minor astrology, minor things like astrology, shall we say, to major things like solar flares. And it's just one line in a song. And I'm sure that that was not meant when the song was written, but the double meaning is not lost on me. Just have a look at the lovely, lovely colours of the moss on this tree. Isn't that beautiful? Wonderful. Sycamore tree. Anyway, moving along. The next line says, I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. So that phrase to me means just dust yourself down, get on with it, which is what we do. That's what humans do. We've become a little more dependent on assistance these days, but in general, 80% of us just dust ourselves down. If you're in Ethiopia and you have a problem, you can't get your water, you're not going to be running along to a therapist and saying, I can't get any water. Amazingly enough, if you live in a country like Rwanda or Lesotho, your daily food is becoming an issue. If you live in countries where there is starvation, where because of the heat there is an issue, you don't see people living in these countries that have lactose intolerance, that have issues with what they can and can't eat. It's quite amazing how we have that as a choice, almost. When I'm saying that just dust ourselves down and we get on with it, we can ask Spirit. We should know we can ask Spirit. We can ask our spirit guides. Some of you may think, I don't have any spirit guides. Nobody around me. Well, you do. You don't only have one spirit guide, you have many spirit guides. Many, many spirit guides. All helping and assisting you. So sometime you might like to say thank you to them, because they are helping you, they are out there. Now, if you You might feel that I've strayed from the path with that. You know, we don't have spirit guides. Well, you do. Get used to it. What can you do to change or rectify something? You would ask your spirit guide. You may not think that that is possible. Well, it is. You may ask to resolve an issue, and you may ask God. And your God may send you one of your workers, one of his workers. You may not see it happening. You may not believe it, but believe me, it does happen. That's what's going on. And the answer, somewhere down the line to your situation, your problem, whatever it is, will be provided. So you may not like the answer that is provided, but it will reveal itself. But it will become evident. So if you have a situation or a problem, you only have to ask. You only have to ask. So the next line of this song is, because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. So this equates to life in general. The peaks, the troughs, and the planet is in a storm right now, so we cannot go to a safe haven or a port of shelter. We have to ride it out. And then the next line of the song says, any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. So if you think about that, we are at the mercy of ego, really, other people's ego in general, our own ego. Let's take a primate community. Let's take them, for example. If they get a male coming in, strange male coming in, he will be attacked and chased. It's things like that. And that's how we operate. We gather together. If you show signs of weakness, anybody with less than good intentions usually gets sorted out within nature. So with us, in nature, it's the survival of the fittest. It's absolutely survival of the fittest. So you sink or swim. It's the fish's thing. You sink or swim. So as he said, any way the wind blows doesn't really matter. It doesn't. We have to bob along. We have to bob along. The world, it is unstable at the moment, and I believe we have an underlying worry, which is only natural, about the planet, which acts like an anchor, and it prevents us from moving forward, actually. So if you think of Australian government crest that they have. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I'll put an image on the screen here. And either side of it, it has a kangaroo and an emu. And that was deliberately chosen because those two animals only have one direction, and it's forward. They cannot walk backwards. They cannot reverse. It's like us humans. We're meant to move forward. We are just meant to move forward. And I believe that the people's spirit energies, so if you think of elementals, now there are certain category of elementals like Fae or Elfin, that kind of thing. But there's also the true elements, the real elements. Earth, wind, fire, water, all of these things. They are meant to help us. They are there to help us. And it's important that we try to act cohesively, really, and protect ourselves from what's going on in the planet. But all of those energies around us, whether it's elemental, whether it is Janu peoples, Woodwoes, whatever the energies are, they all come from the land. The energies from the land. We are meant to be in the land. We are meant to be attached to the land. Otherwise we'd fly, or we'd be underwater all the time. And that's just my point. These things are here to help us and assist us. So when people go marching off into the forest with guns, hunting for their Bigfoot, I wonder if some of the rage that the Janu peoples have, and they'll turn it on that person with that weapon, their puny little gun. I wonder if some of the rage is purely because they're here to help us in one way or another. They don't actually have to stand in your garden and dig your garden over, but they are balancing an energy. Their presence balances a lot of the shite, a lot of the crap that we do. And humans are not very good at looking after their environment and their surroundings. So the energy that's seeped into the world and into the trouble spots at the moment, it's a tinderbox. It really is a tinderbox. But all of these beings are there to help us. And I think we can utilize it. We can ask them for their help. And I think they are only too willing and too prepared to help us in one way or another. So this is our reality. That was the question at the very start, the first line of the song. Is this reality or is this just fantasy? And this is our reality. That when we finish, for example, when we finish with our bodies, we're walking around in bodies. All that is left is our essence, our spirit. That's all that is left. Now I believe that that is possibly what could be an illusion, what we might refer to as the fantasy. Our bodies are the illusion. The reality is what is inside of us, who we are, the essence of who we are. How does that feel to you? What do you think? And our guides, maybe they're the energetic beings, and their energies work alongside off-planet as well, off-planet energies, and they keep us from destroying ourselves. And remember, it's something about humanity at the moment is the small, if you run into 1,000 human beings a day, 995 of those are going to be amazing, really nice people, and 5 of those you hope you never meet again in your life. But it's those 5 that are causing disruptions around the world. They are the problem. And so it's up to us to try and balance that out. So although I'm taking a song, and it may sound frivolous, Bohemian Rhapsody, what's that got to do with the price of butter? But actually, I believe that when Freddie Mercury wrote those words, that he was being given information that he's probably unaware of, and unaware of his significance, in a download, if you like. But it does prompt some interesting questions. It was just an idea, and I just wondered what you thought about that. So, is this that we're on now, is this life the reality? And is that what the Janu people show us when we see them, when people see them and they report? Well, they just disappeared. I saw them and they just disappeared, quite literally. How many times have you heard that in reports? They disappeared in front of my eyes. So which is the illusion and which is the reality? Are we being shown something? The people that witness that, are they being shown something? It's a long-winded way of saying it, but I thought it might be mildly entertaining. Okay.